TV.
Welcome back. We're glad you're still with us here on Morning at NTV from wherever you are watching. We're coming to you live from the Kampala Serena Conference Center, one of the venues that have been heavily affected by the ongoing non-aligned movement summit. There is a heavy security blanket that has been rolled out, and for all those that are in trying to access the Serena Conference Center and the Serena Hotel, there is that specific process of checks, of course, that is supposed to ensure, rather, I seem to be grappling over that, but the whole idea is for security and the need for smooth stay for our guests. Now, the security of the places where the guests are staying or shall be spending a little bit of time is important, but the security of the greater areas in which the venues and all these other activities are taking place is also something that has to be taken into consideration. Now, Makindye Division, Nakawa, and pretty much of the Kampala Central area are in the thick of it. Today and this morning on the show, I have with me the mayor of Makindye Division, Ali Mulyanyama, who will be sharing perspective on the NAM summit, its activities, and how everyone else that is concerned has been affected. You're most welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
How has been your experience accessing the Kampala Serena?
Yeah. The security measures is too high, very tight. I've seen dogs goes around, the flower, the garden. I don't know what it's looking for, but that is a normal for security in such occasions.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
okay. Now, first and foremost, before I go into what is happening or what has changed in Makindye Division as a result of the non-aligned movement summit, what is your general view of the summit and the fact that we are hosting what is no doubt a very important event in the world?
First of all, allow me to greet the people, our viewers of NTV. A very good morning. Second, I wish to thank the management of NTV to hosting me on such occasions.
That's right.
This is my first time.
You're most welcome.
First of all, I have to respect the people of Makindye because I'm a servant to them.
You're a servant.
Those are my bosses. So I congratulate them. Happy New Year. The occasion or the conference about the summit in NAM is taking place. Our guests started arriving here last Friday, and we are being busy finishing every work, everything. But at the end of the day, we have to get a lesson. How do we have the National Planning Authority for the future of this conference? Because you have experience of Chogam, we have experience of the President of America, Bill Clinton, we have the Papa's visit, but why are you always panicking whenever there are such occasions? So my worry is the same going to happen to AFCON? Because we have an AFCON. What about the next conferences? So that's my worry. It's not about the NAM, but you know, we have been with NAM has come with negative impact and a positive impact as a conference, because whenever you see the development of the roads and the drainage, even with some our common people suffered a lot, like drainage destroying some property.
That's right.
But on the level of the national issues, we have maintenance of the road, construction of the road, and as you know, whenever there is construction, there must be destruction. So, but how and when? So it's a matter of the authority to plan for the future, because it's like when you see, like it's like the summit is just announced that Bulungi Bwansi of Uganda, that Friday we have Bulungi Bwansi. Where is our National Planning Authority? So where is the budget? With the budget so I think we welcome the conference. It's good for the future of our country. That's right. And the friendship. But what about the common people? Because now,
before we go to the common person and how they are affected, let me ask you this question. You are the mayor of Makindye Division.
Yes, please.
As a mayor, you operate well under Kampala Capital City Authority, which is responsible for ensuring that the roads and some of the facilities are good enough. Are you saying that within your the confines of the office of Mayor, Makindye Division, which lies under the Greater KCCA, you didn't know about the non-aligned movement summit, and that's what informs what appears to be a lack of preparation, especially when it comes to the construction and the realignment of the roads and everything.
First of all, I'm not inclusive on the committee, but sometimes they brief me. Okay. My town Kiraka was inclusive on the committee, but I get a chance, the deputy executive director.
The town clerk is under you?
He's under me, but he's on the committee.
And you're not?
I'm not.
Were you told why you're not? And the town clerk is what?
But what is the chance I got? The deputy ED contacted me through the town clerk to have a meeting before they start for the development, to have a meeting about the roads, drainage, and whatever. So we held a meeting with him, with my executive, and he get a chance to inclusive some of the roads which was not was left out. Okay. Like a Press Road from Mukwano to Chibuli, like Buziga, which is Prince Badiru Kakunguru. There is Mobutu to Latitude Hotel, UBC. And the other roads, the other part of Philly Road, good enough they put on the list, and the work was done. That is a development for Makindye. Okay. So I don't just distance from them. Hey. But other development, like the other one, they just brief me, they always brief me, but not inclusive. They brief me what is taking place as the mayor, from the town clerk, from the ED, from the deputy ED, and the other stakeholders. But we are not inclusive as the local leaders, because I have speaker, I have councillors. I don't know, even the road mayor, I think he was not involved. The political head of Kampala. So all the political leaders. But for me as the mayor of Makindye, they tried to brief me. Even on Sunday, I was on the ground, so I met the deputy ED and what is taking place. But can you imagine the mayor, even a tagger, and there's a sticker who can access me, like coming here around Makindye.
Interesting. So forgive me for dwelling on this. I shouldn't be, but it kind of reveals something of what can be called an absence of a working relationship between the various mayors and the Lord Mayor, or even Kampala Capital City Authority. First and foremost, do you have a pass for the non-aligned movement? A pass like allowing you to access?
I have only my national ID and the ID. Even on Sunday, I was monitoring the work. I reached at a Mulyanyama roundabout. So the policeman stopped me. I'm introduced I'm the mayor. No, we don't know you. The policeman, officer. Until the SFC man came, was it a captain? So, are you the mayor? Because I'm the mayor. Okay, mayor, you are free to move. But I ask, will it be on the same, on Monday? Now, you see, a mayor of Makindye, these people are selfish too much. A mayor of Makindye, even a sticker, even a card. I don't know if my boss, road mayor, was invited. So that's how we operate in selfness stories. Whenever we come here, we don't want to be negative every time. But the forces put us on the wall. So I'm the mayor, I have the speaker, I have the executive, but nothing. You can't move to Munyonyi. I have to monitor the garbage collection. I have to do everything, because even if you have a conference, we have the normal work we're supposed to do.
That should be going on.
Have the executive, the town clerks, the councillors, LCs, but nobody is now connecting. So that is the situation. Sometimes elected leaders, we are suffering, because I was elected by the people, the majority, and you didn't give me a chance to do what it is necessary.
Maybe you did not heed to a call to be accredited, so that you receive the pass to allow you access these venues and other places for your work to continue normally, despite the fact that the conference is going on.
That's totally white lie, because I've been with them doing the work, the donkey work. A part of the donkey work, I told you. But how comes today? The mayor, the speaker, the executive, I don't know. So now what situation for us? Is it because I'm a Nupian opposition? I don't know.
You said you're what?
A Nupian.
Interesting.
Because they think that I can go there and so that.
Nupian. Interesting.
I'm a Nupian. So apart from that, we have to. There are certain work we have to be together as a teamwork, because we are part of the society.
That's right.
The LC1, the LC2, the councillors, the road councillors, mayors, the road mayors. But at the end of the day, they sometimes, you mayor, muliba mikolo. But now the mukolo is in the house, but they chased away. The road mayor,
the ceremonies are there, and
the ceremonies are there, but now the distance from us. So that is a challenge we have with the state.
The workings.
The work and even in the state. The elected leaders, they always left them out. Whenever there's something, you can guide. Because it's not only that whenever you are opposition, we don't add on to our country.
That is right.
That is a challenge you have.
Okay, now let me come to the very controversial issue, the one of vendors along the roads that lead up to the summit venues, and within the division. Many have been affected. The other day I had one of the top leaders at Kasita, that is Kampala City Traders Association. I don't know what they call themselves these days, the exact name, but Kasita, you understand what I'm talking about. He was saying the vendors were harassed. Some of their lockups and stalls were taken away unceremoniously, meaning perhaps they weren't given chance or time to plan so they can get some other premises in which to do business. What is the alternative as the local authorities of Makindye Division after the NAM and the G77 plus China summits are done? Where will the vendors return? And when they return, will there be an option for a quick transfer of their premises or stalls in case the next conference comes on board?
Now that is a challenge for the planning of the metropolitan or Makindye, because for us Makindye, as I always told, Makindye has a special status, because
special status,
or because we don't have factories, we don't have industries, so we mostly get revenues from luxury businesses like a climax, hotel or beaches, because this is the city. And sometimes I call the Makindye lands of sugar, over sugar lands. Wow. Because most of the luxury places, I told you, papas, auto spas, we have 4 beaches, we have, so, and prominent people. So prominent people always at Makindye. So we get revenues from that businesses. And unfortunately, 1 year ago, I wrote to the minister. In Makindye, we don't have
minister. Which minister?
Kampala.
The minister for Kampala.
We don't have, and even the Lord Mayor tried his best. We don't have a government market where I can sensitize the community to go there for business.
Aren't you lying?
I am like, I'm not like.
The markets are launched by the president each year.
Gaba market is a private market. Kansanga market is just half a acre. All markets, Katwe markets for Kabaka's market, even Chibuye. But if we have that, it would have been better, the vendors.
Do you need a government market?
Where? When
you have these markets already?
And they
have you written to the government, and government has told you that Kabaka has rejected us or has not given us permission?
It's a very small market. We need a modern market. Like, have you ever visited the market of Busia?
In Busia? No, I haven't.
It's unfortunate for people of Kampala, the one of the most taxpayers government, for paying tax for government. But the man doesn't benefit from Kampala. You go to Busia, they construct a modern market. You go to NTV. For us, Kampala, we are suffering because we just have stores like that.
Maybe so you're not cooperating.
If we have a proper planning with local leaders before this summit, because even in the next time we'll be having a summit, that's what we're asking. Are we going to be like this? People are suffering. Why the common man doesn't enjoy that such committee, such summit? So what I'm saying, if we planned before and we have the market in 2 acres, whatever it is, these vendors we should have taken them. Now where are the vendors? They have lost their business. Some residents have lost their properties, like Kansanga, Chikalanga. You go to auto spa around there, their properties, business. I have my friends around Soya Muyenga who sells sands. You know that places. They are all this. You don't know where. So now that is a challenge. The government just come within 1 month and make announcement going around with the public address. You move away from the road. But as a mayor, 2 months ago, I wrote to Honorable Nabanja about what are you going to do for these people? Can we distance them from 50 meters? All right. He never wrote me back up to now, and most of the people have been lost their businesses. We are lucky.
We are good. We are lucky that we have you on the show. And I'll ask this simple question: if the Prime Minister hasn't responded to you, if government hasn't come out with a plan for the next conference, you as the mayor and your council, what have you crafted?
So before the council,
what is your plan?
Before the council, I have already written a letter to the RCC to give me the list. Because the RCC knows the ground, the properties and the vendors. So far, Buziga chairperson has forwarded me the list. So what is my planning before the council?
Great.
Because I'm going to take this list to the leader of opposition, the Right Honorable to forward it to the speaker. That is the first step I had. When we resume the council, because our quota may be the speaker is the one who is presiding it, is in process, I will present as the executive, present the document to the council to have the way forward, the recommendation, because it is only one man issue mayor, it is a council.
Yeah.
So this is how the plan is, how we are trying to roadmap how our people can be compensated from the Kansanga, whatever it is. But there are some leaders who want to politicalize that issue. That, you know, such kind of, I can help you. People suffered enough, but some people that just want to put politics. People of Kansanga and the Gava, but Buziga safe now. They are already given their list.
Okay.
So, and the file is already auto-spurred around the people.
Yeah.
There are about 16 people around the Buziga. But the Kansanga suffered a lot, about 80 people owners, because of the drainage of Soya, the other end of the drainage to the lake. So that's how we're planning to have the local leaders and the council.
Okay. Now, there is the issue of Salama Road.
Yeah.
For anybody who stays along or in areas that you take or superintend, as in you're the mayor, what is the plan for Salama Road that is outside of what the top authorities at KCCA are planning?
Yeah, you know,
or we are still waiting for KCCA?
I've been reading some document of the previous president. But when I read the...
What do you mean previous president?
The form of around the world, not only here.
Okay.
Now, I got the document from Uhuru. Uhuru said that I'm going to do the roads. The other president will do the rest.
Uhuru being Uhuru Kenyatta?
Uhuru Kenyatta.
Yeah.
Now, I've been the champion of advocating about the change mindset of the roads construction.
Yeah.
Even if the leaders, some of the people, they don't know the importance of the roads. They are focusing on garbage collection, what? But because for me, I'm the one of the leader who has been traveling even before the mayor, because I went to saw something. But you know, it don't even need the arcades or the big arcades or whatever it is. It's the road who changes the environment of our community. Yeah, whenever it is. That's right. So I've been advocating since our leaders, even in the community, the importance, because I have that experience. Before I came to the office, there is Kirombe, there is Boston, there is Rukuli, Gaba bypass. But this road, I get in touch with Jennifer Musi.
The former executive director.
Yeah. Even if it's the ED, we are in touch. But Salama Road has the challenges about the top leadership. You know, there's Courage Okubasho, who is stealing the day. That's how the people are suffering. But good enough, Ruafu has started. Now, in your opinion, who is... well, now we have the communication is very important because there's a letter coming from African Development Bank, you know, our funders, querying about the central government. They came on agreement that the central government will compensate the affected person. Affected person. Yeah. But with 41 billion. Also, that is the total of affected person, boundaries, war, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, the central government failed to compromise that money to the ED or to the authority. Now the African Development wrote a barua. We can withdraw our funding to Kampala. That is unfortunate. Some of the top leaders, when they saw this later, they celebrate. I told the mayors, but for me, I went to the
they celebrated.
Yeah, they celebrated. They went around, even they make a press conference. But for me, I already go to the community, and I met the landlords about that, and they managed to give me some foods like this table about how we can expand the road a bit right off way, and about 95% they signed the consent. And I told them, whenever there is money, good enough you have your consents. They signed by RC1, the mayor, and the ED. They will be giving you money. But what I know, let's develop our lands, and they agreed. But sometimes the voice came from the top. You are going to be compensated. And the people now confused.
Okay.
So if we are getting together, because if there is money, bring it. And some rumors, the mayor ate money, Mulyanyama. But let me tell you, my brother, you know Salama Road. They're about, you know, even if it's a political statement, Salama Road has 250 land roads. Out of 250 land roads, 180 are willing for the project whenever he's compensated or not. The other one complained as a normal person. But at the end of the day, you never looked about the business. There is about 2,000 business where we get revenue. 60 taxes. What about these people suffering? Accident. Going into Chirudu. So what I'm saying, let's work together. There is no work. There is a work to be done. Everybody thinks anybody can do it. Anybody thinks somebody can do it. At the end of the day, nobody did. So let's work together as a team. Even a car, you see a big car. It's not only the big machines like an engine. Even a small nut. You can't go to Masaka when there is no on the tire. So let's work as a team on a development issue. Good enough. My party, I'm a Nupian, as I told you. We have a period of service delivery. And even our president, Robert Chaguranyi, always say, you are a servant to the people. Emphasize on that. We are servant to the people. So let's work for the people, for the good of our Makindye, Kampala, and so on. Okay.
Mayor Mulyanyama, we are going for a break. When we return, we shall continue this conversation and speak about the aspects of security and the fact that right now the Kampala area and its metropolitan surroundings is experiencing some real good security. No doubt about that. Will that continue? And will people, especially the residents, continue to enjoy it? Stay with us. We'll be right back. You're watching Morning at NTV. We're glad you're still with us, and many thanks for staying and keeping it to Morning at NTV. If you're just joining us, welcome on board. You are watching Morning at NTV, and we are taking note of the security readiness of the apparatus, that is the various agencies led by the Uganda People's Defense Forces and the Uganda Police, in as far as ensuring that the delegates, but also the residents and dwellers within Kampala City, are comfortable. There has been widespread disruptions, especially for those in the central business district, but across Kampala metropolitan area, business continues unabated, save for a few vendors who have been taken off the streets, especially in the areas along the routes that lead up to the Munyonyo Convention Center. In studio, I have with me the mayor of Makindye Division, Haji Ali Mulyanyama. Have now also been joined by the deputy resident city commissioner for Nakawa, Kassim Kamugisha. Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everyone.
How are you doing?
Thanks to God.
We have discussed extensively the disruptions that the non-aligned movement summit have caused, especially to the business community. The good mayor has also taken us through what should be done to ensure that we do not suffer disruptions every time we are hosting guests or taking care of a huge conference or a huge event in the country. Before you take us through what measures can be put in place to ensure that there is smooth business continuity, what is your take on the NAM summit and the G77 that is beginning right after the NAM summit has ended?
Thank you very much, my friend and the Mayor Makindye. First and foremost, NAM G77 and the IGAD South Summit. These are, in my view, lifetime opportunities for a country like Uganda.
Lifetime?
Yes.
Okay.
The closest we got to this was in 1975, when we had OAU in Uganda. But you see, it was only African countries by that time.
That's right.
Here we are talking about over 120 countries across the globe. You are looking at 53 African countries. You're looking at over 29 from Asia, then a substantive number from Latin America. So for Uganda, I must say it's a lifetime opportunity, but also a vote of confidence in the leadership of the country, but above all the vote of confidence in the security of Uganda. If we were not relatively stable and at peace, no single head of state would dare to step a foot in Uganda. So in my own opinion, it's an opportunity whereby Ugandans out there, both structured, non-structured, formal and informal, tell their story, so it can become a world attraction for the next coming years. But also, look at the situation where Uganda is taking the presidency of NAM after this summit. To me, I think it is an achievement, and it is up to us now, we, the writers of history today, to ensure that we pick a fortune for our country.
Okay. Now, the final aspects of the benefits from the summits have been spoken about extensively.
Yes.
On the morning at NTV, we have been hosting guests right from the beginning of October, and we have talked about this. However, when events like these happen,
yes,
disruptions are rampant, and our concern before you joined was the fact that if we are unable to plan as a country, as authorities within the capital, on the next course of action after this,
yes,
we might face the same scenario when the next big conference happens, and the mayor spoke about the next event, AFCON. Shall we again begin to chase people off certain sections of roads, certain areas, because AFCON is here? Shouldn't we be creating systems or ways of doing things that are sustainable?
Yeah, I want to agree with you that we must always have the bigger master plan, especially for, if we spoke in terms of KMP, Kampala Metropolitan.
That's right.
We should always have a grand master plan which is phased, either 10-year, 15-year, 20-year grand plan, in that whatever smaller plans that come up always feed into the master plan. And so I want to agree with you that it is not sustainable to always have temporary plans or myopic projections that can result into what we are seeing of having vendors off streets, having borders off streets and all that. But also I want to point out that we have not realistically differentiated between politicking and development. Now, if Mulyanyama came up with a grand master plan, and maybe I'm not in agreement with his political party, sometimes I'm forced to frustrate Mulyanyama, because I think when he implements his grand master plan, then it gives him political clout, it gives him political advantages, and advantages. And so this has always hampered strategic planning, because we mix development and politics. Recently we had campaigns in Kampala, and one of them, for example, was a campaign to have vendors put into gazetted press. But you see, this wasn't welcomed by everybody across the globe, across the spectrum. And today you have vendors on the street and you are forced to have them off. I remember we had a plan of gazetting stages of borders in Kampala. Too much time was invested in this, but because the political players, especially those in the leadership of Kampala, because they thought they were not championing the program. Then it was frustrating, and today we are seeing over 190 border stages being either absorbed, being merged, or evacuated from their operational centers. So we have to begin accepting that where there is development, then we should look at development specifically and put our eyes off politics.
Okay.
And of course, political decisions have got a very, very big impact on development and growth. And so wherever there is lack of differentiation between the two, then you can't have progress moving on. Okay. Therefore, if for example, for the last 20 years we had politics that were very, very pro-development in Kampala, and working with stakeholders who have got resources, I think we would have thought through clearly what we need in terms of infrastructure in Kampala, what we need in terms of planning transport, in terms of planning traffic flow, and so wouldn't be where we are. I can say we are firefighting in these preparations. So there has to be an acceptance of a broader development plan for greater Kampala, I mean Kampala metropolitan, and accommodative politics, so that this plan can be implemented, in that when we have similar summits or similar bigger conferences, and for that matter AFCOM, we are fully prepared.
Okay, Mayor, let me return to you. Mr. Kamugisha has just spoken about something that is very important, that there is a lack of a grand master plan in which other small things operate. For example, if we are to host such conferences, it shouldn't be a new plan because of this conference, but something to help what is already ongoing. For how many years have you been in office now?
Yeah, it's 8 years.
8 years now. Those are one term,
yeah, this
and
one,
then you're halfway through.
This one for 2021, 2024.
Okay.
Yeah, this is my second term in
So
office.
these are 8 years as the mayor of Makindye Division. Just take us through what your meetings, especially when you sit as mayor of Makindye Division, mayor of Kawempe, mayor of Kampala Central, what do you discuss and what do you create in terms of a master plan for Kampala?
We have a challenge with the sometimes with the government and the political wing.
Okay.
That is a big challenge. So whenever we are policy makers, this will implement us. But sometimes the minister come with the instruction, like a border, when the policy makers are not involved. So as stakeholders, I think you have to get a workshop. You come with a policy, let's give the chance for the division, and the division recommend it to the authority. The authority take it to the minister. How can work? But sometimes they want something to come from top. Even if you have a cup of tea, the water comes from, but they come from down to be on top. So that's the challenge you have. Okay. Second, I don't know if it is intentional with the government. We have the metropolitan Kampala and PG. Apart from revenue and the lands and whatever, there must be something networking us. Because if I work for Makindye and I stopped to Mayanja, even let me tell you, people have been crying dogs, biting them, but Makindye can do it, and the following day the dog crossing from Busabala to Makindye again. So now what terms of work are we operating? So you have to implement the metropolitan around the networking to PG in terms of roads, drainage, and the movement of electric poles. So whenever we're doing anything, let's do it in metropolitan. Because when you do metropolitan, the stadium of Dr. Mulindwa will be networking well before the AFCON. You understand?
That's interesting.
Namboli. But for us in Kampala, we have our luggage here. The Wachiso has luggage, and at the end of the day, there's no networking, and we can stop working on a parallel line, the authority and the division, because the road mayor can come to Makindye with the three councillors from the division without informing the what. The other time the road mayor complained, why the mayor meeting the ED without my notes. That's, you see, the parallel line. So we lack the leadership who can put us together. So it's about the road mayor, because he's the head of the institution. Okay. The leadership for me is to influence.
Before you throw that responsibility, especially now that the Lord Mayor is not here, he spoke about the fact that the politics of the day can influence the direction of development. You've very confidently spoken about the fact that you are a Nupian, you know, and the Lord Mayor has often gotten into problems with the state and KCCA because he has first been a DP, now he is a FDC. And you've just talked about the fact that politicians must be able to work, put party affiliation aside, and then pursue development. How are you doing that?
Let me tell you, this is not true. This is not true.
It's not true?
Because it's not true like that.
Okay.
The challenge you have, to the implementers to be a policy makers, and they want us to be implementers. Because we are policy makers.
Yeah.
The road mayor is a political head who come with it. By the way, when you read the KCC Act, section 29 to the division, the mayor shall be the strategic development plan policy maker. Mayor, even the road mayors. But at the end of the day, the minister has to come with the policy to be implemented with the road mayor and the mayor. That is the challenge you have. Let's be in streamline. What is the role of the mayor, the road mayor, and the minister? That's all. Because when you come to my office, but even in this road you are working today, when you go to the Minister of Works, General Katumba Amara, she will say that one day the mayor Makindye wrote me, and he wrote to the Minister of Kampala. I have a reference from the mayor Makindye what is taking place about road construction before the NAM. It's on record. So there is no way we can be in parallel to the development of our country. I told you I've been a champion. That's why Makindye has some rights like that, even before the NAM. So now, it is a policy. The RCC are instructed to come and fight the mayor. I'm not saying this one. But now, the instruction comes, this mayor is from Chagulanyi, you go and fight him. And you see, for nothing. If you come tomorrow, why are you fighting the RCC and the mayor? It's
briefly take us through how.
So
is
what
the
I'm
work,
saying, if we work together, we come to work together. Nothing can happen whenever somebody knows his role and function.
RCC, you are appointed by the government. You work directly for the president. And now what I gather from Mayor Mulyanyama's submission is that we must be able to distinguish what, for you're an implementer, right?
I'm a monitor.
You monitor.
Yes.
You don't implement.
No, I monitor.
You monitor implementation.
Yes.
Tell us the experience of how do you see the workings between the elected leaders who are mayors and then the technocrats, as we know them, at Kampala Capital Authority. How far is it, or rather, what is not being done as a result of that particular conundrum?
You see, the discussion we are in is about a strategic master plan.
Strategic master plan.
For example, the metropolitan Kampala, and how the smaller plans could fit into the master plan. But above all, the role to be played by each player.
That's right.
And one, I must say that one, I doubt when the leadership of, for example, Kampala, in terms of politics, has come up with a strategic plan and has been frustrated by KCC, because he made the mention, and I was very happy that the road mayor, in his view, is the one in charge of coming up with strategic policy master plan for Kampala. Then the ED implements.
That's right.
And but sometimes you find that we have taken a direction of lamenting all the time. So instead of doing what is expected of us, we find ourselves lamenting. And also, he makes a very, very good point that sometimes you find overlaps. I can call it overlapping roles. You see, sometimes overlaps are very necessary. Look at because I understand you must be moving in the whole of Kampala these days. You can see what is rapidly being done. Whereas Mulyanyama, and I agree with him, can say that there were some overlaps and some players are doing some work as of now. It is necessary, because when you have got a conference like now, you have 120 heads of state being expected. Then later you are looking at 77 plus 1. And you have not seen a policy in terms of the master plan of Kampala. Do you think as a government you sit aside and say, since we have not seen the master plan. Let us sit and wait. No,
you can't.
You have to come and ensure that one, the image of Uganda is really
one information, my brother RCC. There are some committees which must be implemented for metropolitan to make sure the master plan of the metropolitan plan, but it never happened. The road mayor is a member. Have been crying about that. Where is the committee to implement the metropolitan master plan? So that the road mayor was being named out by where are you? Where is the committee? Who's supposed to appoint it? Is it the minister or the president?
Okay.
Nothing never happened.
All right, gentlemen.
So for me, I think, as I want at this point, I think the government really, in its wisdom, therefore saw it necessary to come in. Yes, it can be called overlap because you see politicians, and I happen to have had a take on politics. We always want to take credit from everything. So whenever they are not seeing an opportunity of taking credit, of course there will be crying of foul here and there. But the government could not sit back and not really put its foot on the ground. Yes. Actually, what we would be saying now is, can we then build on what we have seen happening now, so that we can agree that yes, we can continue and beautify our city, organize our city. Then later we look at strategic master plans which shall be coming in the future. So for me, I think the call to government should be: we have started. Can we continue and exploit this opportunity and finish the works so that we can have a facelift of our city, Kampala?
All right, gentlemen. Let me now shift to the aspect of security, which is very multi-layered. The security blanket that we are seeing that has been rolled across Kampala and its metropolitan areas is something we need more like on a daily.
Yes.
Not in terms of the presence of police officers and soldiers, but the confidence that we are secure. You know, I know right now a lot of numbers have been pulled from various barracks across the country to come and ensure that Kampala is safe. That's reinforcement. But we have what it takes in terms of the number of soldiers, so to speak, maybe resources to ensure that we are secure, and not just for a few weeks and then after it will be released. Let me ask the mayor, in Makindye Division, the LC system is very important when it comes to understanding the specifics of who is doing what, who lives where, and what is their role in the community. Within this particular setting, have the agencies worked with you? If they have or if they haven't, what are you going to copy
good enough,
from?
the RCC said sometimes you're overlapping.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very clear, overlapping, because they don't want to work in the system or the structure, but in the proper way. When I had any meeting that the DSO has started already, or the DPC with the LCs, because the LCs have the information.
That's right.
That's why sometimes they have loopholes in security. But what I emphasize about, apart from the Chogam, because I have that experience, Chogam was in 2009, 2007.
Yeah.
There are many arrested of people coming from who going out, whatever it come.
Sure.
But this time around, I talk to the security, whatever it is.
Let people enjoy their nights out.
Because this is not suffer. The NAM doesn't come to Kampala to people, to the common person, to suffer, because there was a planning to close roads before the 5 days, and we reached on the concept that no, this can stop it, because they want to close Gava, whatever it is, that and such business like Munyonyo to be closed, bars, whatever it is. So no, let's minimize the volume of music, whatever it is, that people can have a normal life. So we try to they understand like that. Okay. But the LOCs and the local leaders, they are not involved. Even in the RCCs, because now we know, because this is a security matter, and I support, even now, even if the police doesn't know what is going on, apart from SFC.
It's not true.
Whenever, let me tell you.
Mayor, you're lying.
I'm telling you, I have been coming here. There was a police officer. I told you what happened on Sunday. On myself, the police officer has my injury on this, and he didn't want me to pass. The SFC came out. Are you the mayor? Yes, you go. Now, who is in charge? You see, but this is security. Whatever it is, that means the police. Now, who is a special unit we have in Uganda? In such occasions, we have to find out.
The police is relegated.
The police, definitely. Whenever you see, even a couple of SFC can command the DPC This is what is happening now. I think this is now SFC is now is a special unit everywhere, even here, we're around here. I'm not saying I respect every security organism, but this one is worse. The police officer is like a traffic officer. Whenever you are DPC or regional police commander, the country is now in charge of SFC. I don't know UPDF, but SFC, whenever you see around there. The rest, even the RCC, he can't be moved with the gun now. He must be arrested until next year. So now
are we debating?
so
let me throw it to you, because it seems to be insinuating,
yes,
but you are an RCC.
That's
and what he
true.
talks about is very pertinent. The fact that perhaps the command structure of our agencies can also be confusing at times, and it could cause a bit of a menace to the average citizen. But that is isolated cases. The greater aspect is the fact that right now the security apparatus seems to be perfect. It means we are capable of ensuring security for the citizens of Kampala and its metropolitan area, but also the entire country. If we can do this right now, why shouldn't we do it always?
I want to suggest that we appreciate the fact that whereas we have got a few scattered elements of criminality within Kampala and other parts of Uganda, but Uganda generally as a country is secure because there is movement from border to border. You can start your car from Mutukula now, in the evening you are in Mule or Vura or Mpondwe or any other border, undisrupted. That is symbolic of how Uganda is secure. Even the countries that have been quite emancipated in security more than Uganda have got lapses. America has had lapses in every other day, but we don't stand and say America is insecure. So Uganda is relatively secure. And what you are talking about in terms of what we are seeing in Kampala is can we have what we are seeing, the presence, the vigilance every other day? I want to say yes, but also say no. One, you suggested that most of these personnel have been, for example, called from different areas to come and reinforce. And of course, their presence, as Mayor says, has had some small tampering with the daily arrangement of how we do our things. And because Uganda is a liberal country, Uganda is people like their freedom. You cannot every other day have such kind of deployment because you'll be depriving people of some of their rights. When we come to specifics, I can vividly inform the whole country that the command center of all this is at Uganda Police Headquarters in Naguru. So when we are suggesting that Uganda Police is relegated from the command structure, then we are not informed. The command center for this operation is at Uganda Police Headquarters. But as you know,
are you attendant to the practical aspects of how the security works? Yes. Because what he has gone through, I do not think he's making it up. I'm
coming to that. Okay. But you see, when you cascade down, every other, we know by law, every other, by law and regulations, every other security agency plays its own critical role.
That's right.
When you come at, for example, securing the critical infrastructure of our country, including this conference center, then you find that special forces is trained, equipped to secure a critical infrastructure of our country. So when you come and find traffic guiding you at the entrance, then you find special forces taking up the whole access controls. Then you know they are within their mandate as special forces. When you go at the general law and order in Kampala, you don't find special forces there because their mandate doesn't extend to that level. You will find the police clearly manning. When you go to intelligence sharing, you will not find special forces in intelligence. I can tell you ISO has deployed, you have got crime intelligence deployed. So every other unit of our armed forces is playing its role at a given time. When you come, for example, to the borders, you come to the airspace of our country is secured. when you go to Lake Victoria, and the mayor is privy to that, there is heavy deployment of marine on water. So, and unless we don't understand what role each security agency should play, but for me, I think there is no overlap in roles, but also there is no relegation of any
the police.
Yeah, actually, what I can say is, if maybe in Makindye you never had the strict security committee, or you never attended, then we have to blame Makindye as a specific area. But for Nakawa, we had, because we know we are hosting delegates. So we have to ensure that we feed into the grand preparations of the whole of Kampala and the country. So there's no overlap of roles. Yeah. What I can say, there are some disruptions because of the unusual, which is happening.
Unusual deployment.
Yes.
Okay. You seem to be having just...
the RCC said the police is in control because the commanding center is
in Naguru.
That doesn't mean whenever, if I have my brother who has no compound and her daughter come for the function, does it mean I'm the owner of the daughter? This is so. You have the compound for the occasion. The commanding. It's a raw order. The commanding office station is at the police headquarters. But we have seen several occasions. Even wherever we fell for the roads, the FC came. Even in Parliament, you remember Tojikwatako.
Okay.
Even in the safe so we have to identify who is to rescue every situation. Okay. Even a small matter today, like a police, because the police can handle this, and the army be alert whenever to rescue, like on the around, but every corners, whenever you see the police is, the FC is taking. So are we in control with the police or our SFC?
Oh, Mayor, that is a matter, of course, that will continue to be discussed at various levels. Now, as we wind up the discussion, let me come to the actual benefits to the layman. You talked about the fact that Makindye Division, you said, is it the capital of, you don't have industries, but you have luxury sports, hotels, beaches. We've been struggling to put numbers to this. When people say we have delegates in Kampala and Uganda is going to benefit enormously, it's difficult to understand because we need to know when delegates are done with the conference, what happens next? After, do they go to tour around? We haven't been told the modalities under which that will happen. The hope is that perhaps during the sessions, one can steal a moment or two and then go around Kampala and spend some money.
Yes.
Otherwise, spending dollars is a difficult thing, apart from the bookings of hotels where they are staying and the purchase, of course, the amenities within that particular hotel. When it comes to revenue, how much money do you think Makindye Division is making out of now?
First of all, as I told you, we never planned for Kampala or Uganda. Even now, would have been a tourist center.
Okay.
Because whenever there's a tourist center, the delegates can visit. Apart from, we made a way for taxes at the airport for all visitors. This is a lot of money. That's another day. Now, for the common person, on the terms of national level, there are some benefits which I can't doubt. But for the common man, where is the washing bay? Where the protocol car goes? Do you know? Do you know the drivers?
Interesting.
Let me give you an example.
Quickly.
There is a whole petrol station. It was built for 2 months at Mulyanyama. I don't know who the owner, but there are many petrol stations around Makindye. It's only one benefits. So who the common man? Because there are two ways: indirect benefit and direct. I am here now. You just benefit from me, my perfume. But that benefits, but that's the thing that goes. Even the big people, for us as Makindye,
that's right.
We have benefit from the road development, drainage. But what I suggest for the next time, because when I talked about Chogam, do you have any legacy for Chogam? In such occasions, our conference would have been at least health center for that's
built specifically,
marketing, stadium, the next generation. This is what 2024. Two, the next one, the politically imprisoners like a Machete and the old and etc. I will have better enjoyed that now when my sisters and brothers and military prisons are out. That's how I can handle this. For my full happiness will be like that.
Thank you.
Can I have Machete and Olivia? I will join the NAM fully. But now we don't have any legacy after 20 years about NAM. Like Chogam.
About
do you know anything about Chogam?
There's a lot that
like apart from tree.
RCC.
Yes, please.
The gentleman here has just completely said there is no legacy for some of these events, and that what is happening today won't be visible to anybody.
You see, when we talk about the benefits, the benefits of these conferences and summits, sometimes they can't be realized unless they are gone. He's a Hajj, he knows. We say, tu'rafu ni'ma ba'da zawaliha. We understand a favor when it has just left. So, in my own opinion, a layman will benefit from this NAM and G77 directly and in the long run. One, we have got, for example, hotels here in Kampala, which are being occupied by dignitaries. Some of these hotels, most of them actually, are owned by the local persons. They are owned by our own people here. And of course, it means they are earning from the NAM. Number two, you have got Uganda must tell its story. When the story of Uganda is told, when the story of Uganda is told internationally, we expect to reap from tourism, because people will increase in coming to our country. And who benefits from their visit in Uganda? It is the ordinary man. But also we are talking about infrastructure development, where we had potholes, where we had what, and we have seen them being patched up. Who is benefiting? It is the common man benefiting. So whereas we might actually, when you look at countries like South Korea and South Africa, it is on record that they have managed to leap forward bigger because of the multiplier effect of the World Cup in those two countries. So we can't downplay. We can't downplay what advantages these conferences come with.
To the country.
We have just to be positive and tell a clear story of our country, which will, in my own view, attract what Uganda needs. Okay. And that is earning from tourism, because it is one of the biggest earnings in our country. So the common man, in my view, is benefiting, will benefit, and will continue to benefit as long as these summits come here.
Deputy RCC Nakawa, Kassim Kamugisha, many thanks for the perspective and helping us understand exactly how some of these benefits will trickle down to the common man in the future. And many thanks to you too, Haji Ali Mulyanyama, Mayor, Makindye Division, for sharing your insight on how things must work, especially on the collaboration between the executive wing and the elected leaders. That will do it for our Tech Note. We've been looking at the NAM Summit and of course what it means for the development not only of Kampala and its metropolitan areas, but